Well, I've managed to get onto the ICOM stand here in Friedrichshafen, and I've met somebody who I didn't think was going to be here. Ray Novak from ICOM US. What are you doing over here, Ray?
I'm doing this right here. I'm the guy that brings some humor and has some fun, and really I'm having a blast here.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show. And before we started, we spoke, and I said, well, at least I can prove that the ICQ podcast is more than one presenter because you're not talking to our Frank this time.
No, and it's a joy to talk to different people, but it's very interesting the number of people that I already know over here. There's been a lot of Americans that I know, a lot of the same people that I saw in Xenia, 3 months ago?
So I mean, I was going to say that when I've seen you in Dayton before, you're mega busy because it's your stand and bits and pieces. It must be a bit more relaxed here for you.
No.
No?
I've been in amateur radio for 35 years. I've been with ICOM for 31. My first time at Friedrichshafen was in 1991.
Yeah.
And this would be for the camera. I will send it to you because a lot of people have received humor from looking at the photo.
You're right.
And we'll capture your reaction as soon as I find the photo here. There we go.
Well, there you go. Now, there are pictures of me with hair as well on the internet, but yeah.
Many people have said they don't recognize, and we'll even let your film crew look. We just got a oh wow and a laugh behind it.
Yeah. But
that's a fine suit.
That's a fine suit there, yeah.
Well, at that time I was working for MFJ.
Yeah, so I met Martin June, nice guy. I had a little chat with him when he realised that we weren't normal because we weren't trying to tap him up for a freebie or sponsorship. Great guy to have a chat to. And I know, first time I met you, you said, right, I want to sponsor you, how much? And we said, no, we don't do that. But
that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Just like you surprised him, that was a surprise to me because a lot of times we get people coming up, shove a microphone and a camera in our face, and then the next thing you know, well, what ICOM radio can I test for you?
Yeah. And in fairness, I do own ICOM radios. Not necessarily all of them. I have a 7300.
Okay, I'm going to ask the crew. He says this to all the manufacturers, right?
No.
He's got a lot of radios.
No. I actually own a 7300, a 9700, because I wanted two that were very similar, because I want to operate. I don't want to remember all the different menu systems.
Yes.
And I actually have an ID92D, the little old-fashioned handout of about 10 years ago. Works brilliantly. I also have other manufacturers' radios. I won't bet about that. But you have to choose the right radio for what you're doing.
Yes.
And you guys make some great radios, so some of the other manufacturers. When I worked, and this is different, when I worked for one of the dealers, people would come in and say, which radio should I buy? And I'd have yours, Yasu, Kenwood's on display, and I'd say to them, fairly close spec, most, fairly close. And I'd say to somebody, which is the prettiest? Which is the eye candy? Because you could, at that point in time, Ten-Tech were making quite a good radio, but it was ugly as sin. I couldn't sit in front of it. It was horrible. So, you've got to say to somebody, pick the one that you think's eye candy, because you want to operate it. And maybe I'm silly. You can tell me I am, but
no, that's the same approach that I take. When somebody comes to me, I'm looking for a radio. What should I buy? If they leave it like that, I ask them, what do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you an ICOM product, but there might be one of my competitors that better fits for you. Shame on me for not making that right radio.
Yeah.
So like you just said, you had a 7300 and a 9700. Did you know they had a baby?
I used to own, and I regret selling it, I used to have an ICOM 703. And everybody thought I was a lunatic because I didn't have the Yasu 8 FT817.
Yes.
And I said, I'm an old gentleman with big hands and I don't need my glasses. So the ICOM radio for me was absolutely brilliant because I could do the controls and I could see the screen.
But have you looked at the 705?
I have looked at the 705. I don't own one at the moment. It's a lovely radio, but in fairness, I've got a lot of radios, and nicely, and I'm being nice about it.
Yes.
I just don't need another radio at this point in time. If one of my radios died tomorrow, it would certainly be in the frame.
Okay, but you're thinking about it the wrong way. You think I'm trying to sell you another radio.
No.
But the 705 is the perfect spectrum analyzer to go look for noise.
Yeah, but I own a spectrum analyzer, but never mind.
Do you own one that size, though? You can hold it in one hand.
No, I don't. Well, no. Yeah, there was the mini spectrum analyzer, but yeah, I hear where you're coming from. And it's a good radio. I've seen people using it. I know people have got them. Great radio. I just don't own one at the moment.
But there again, that's an example of the kind of sales pitch that I would do.
Yeah.
Is somebody, well, I got too many radios. Do you have any RFI in your neighborhood? Do you hear power line noise? It could be a transformer. No one's going to carry a 7300 around, but 705 with its own battery pack and just a little Yagi to go look for the noise. A lot of people never think about it because the first words that they hear, oh, it's a QRP radio.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it's a QRP transceiver, but it's also a great spectrum monitor to look for HF noise, VHF, or UHF noise.
Certainly is. Now, a lot of people go, oh, it's a QRP. I would prefer to go out and operate QRP, and if I work 3 stations in an afternoon QRP, as opposed to 30 plus on QRO. But I find that if you're QRP, if I work somebody QRP and I tell them I'm QRP before they give me the signal report, they always give you a rotten signal report. And it's interesting, they'll give you a good signal report if they're listening, but then you tell them you're QRP and they, oh no, you're not 5 and 9, you're about a 4 and 3 or something, you know.
The thing, and that's one of the funny things about hams. They look for that 5.9, 599 RST coming back. I just look at it, I made the log.
Yeah.
To me, no one goes, oh, you were in the log. What kind of signal report? No, I made the log on a DXpedition.
Yeah. And the other thing is, it's about making the contact, as you say. And if I can hear you and understand you, what more is there needed?
But also in QRP versus QRO, I hear so many guys, well, they couldn't hear me with 100 watts, but as soon as I turned on the amp, I worked them immediately. It takes finesse with QRP.
Yeah.
Listening to their pattern, getting it at the very end, or the very beginning or the very end of where they're listening.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's the fun and the art of working a pileup.
Yeah. Now, not so much pileup and DX, but NVIS. The number of people I've worked recently on low power, and I'm sure I'm running NVIS in the UK, and they're in the UK, and they come back and they go, I'm running 500 watts, and you're thinking, I'm hearing you, S9, no problems at all. And they tell me, it could be good signal to them. It's so much of this is bad because people don't get their antennas right, or they don't understand the propagation they're using.
Oh yeah, the ones that I really love are the ones where you repeat your call sign 5, 6, 7 times, and then you get 590, man.
Yeah, you're 5'9", what's your call sign again? We've seen that many times.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Listen, Ray, you're busy. You're getting a group over the other side of this desk looking for you. Great to catch up with you. Hopefully we'll catch up with you again in Dayton. Otherwise I'll send Frank round looking for you, and I'm sure when you got new product, come and tell us.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, this has been a fabulous time, and I'll be in the UK for WRTC 2026. So, hopefully, you guys will be covering that event. That is a very fun event that we've been a sponsor of since 2014. So we've really believed in a WRTC and love supporting that event.
Yeah, well, I've known Mark Haynes a while, not as long as you have, because I know Mark worked for ICOM before he worked for Kenwood. We knew him at Kenwood. We met him in Dayton with you, 2019. So, yeah, I've spoke to Mark about this. He's asked us to come along. We'll promote it as best we can for you as well. So that's a given deal.
Yeah, I met Mark after he did Kerguelen. So he was in his early 20s. He was youthful at that point.
Oh, don't upset him. Don't upset him.
So I call him Mr. Fantastic because every time I talk to him, everything's fantastic. I've never met somebody that had that outlook about life and ham radio. So,
yeah, and Georgina supports him, and she's actually got a license now, I believe.
Oh yes, and she keeps him in line.
Yeah. That's good news. Listen, Ray, thank you very much for your time, mate, and have a good show here.
All right, enjoyed it very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.